silicon is taken from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 120, Dharana 95. Kvachit vastuni vinyasya shanair-drishtim nivartayet tajnanam chitta sahitam devi shunyalayo bhavet. Kvachid vastuni vinyasya shanair-drishtim nivartayet tajnanam chitta sahitam devi shunyalayo bhavet.
Bhagavan Paramashiva says, having fixed one's eyes on a particular object, Vastu, and one should slowly withdraw the sight from the object as well as slowly eliminate the knowledge of the object along with the thought and impression of it. Then, O Devi, one abides in Sunya, the state where there is nothing other than this exist, which is the state of all-inclusiveness or infinite. Beautifully puts in as how we can experience the infinity, the consciousness as infinity, the Paramashiva space as quantum infinity that we are, and manifest our all the desires into the reality. Bhagavan beautifully gives us the ultimate signs when you withdraw from the object. If there is a object, rose, and withdraw from the object, what you perceive as rose, drop that. And the knowledge about the rose is beautiful, it has perfume, it has beautiful color, all that when we drop it, and then thoughts about the rose and the knowledge about the rose. Whatever we have, who we gave the first rose or who we got the first rose from, all that knowledge, everything when you drop, what else exists as a rose? The consciousness. That is something which is what is manifesting through you and now. If you're breathing, if you're seeing, if you're in the power manifestation session, you are consciousness happening right now as the reality. And in materialistic world, you are sitting for the power manifestation session. Bhagavan says, if you start recognizing your higher dimension, that you are consciousness and understand the object is also consciousness, you are simply connected to that and you can manifest and manipulate in the way you want it, command over the reality. How we can experience that beautiful space of oneness is what is all about the power, science of power manifestation. Bhagavan gives a beautiful Apta Pramana. Apta Pramana are the rishis, munis, ganas, nayanamas, alvas, siddhas who have manifested all these powers. Ramanuja, who believed Dvaita, the Bhakti, how he lived as the ultimate Bhakta. One day, this is for the power of consciousness over matter, Apta Pramana. One day, the Mughal king had taken away all the deities and he had stored in her place, and he has taken Ramanuja's deity also. And when Ramanuja goes and pleads to him to give back the deity, he says, you call for the deity and if the deity comes, you can take him. And he calls him Chella Pillai. In Tamil, it means, dear my son. And when he calls, physically the deity starts walking towards him and comes to Ramanuja. The ultimate space of oneness that Ramanuja experienced, the ultimate space is the space how Bhagavan says conscious sovereignty as your reality. He could really start relating to that matter as consciousness. That is all requires how we can experience all that which exists as matter, as consciousness. We become consciousness. The conscious sovereignty is looking everything in the conscious perception rather than the perception of just the materialistic world. The more we understand that, what does it do to in our life? The more we are out of the delusion, we are not pained by it. The struggles that we go through, the impossibility that we go through, and all that we have the pain points simply dissolve and only auspiciousness and abundance starts flowing in us. The science, that's the greatest science. Bhagavan says India was the most richest place before the Britishers came because everybody believed that was the science they could live as reality. Rather than go to work, they go to the Paramashiva space and experience the oneness and manifest all the wealth they want and all the auspicious. Bhagwan beautifully here explains about his experience with Arunagiri Yogeshwara, how he experienced the oneness for the first time, that Suddha Advaita as his reality in the Atma Pramana.
On the surface and so deep in the being. Using that powerful eyes, he was looking into me. Of course, that is too much. So naturally, sleep disappears. I'll describe the scene. The next word is Sami. That's the way he used to call me, because that is the way my whole family used to address. I had hundreds of names given and self-given. And it continues even now. But most used name is this Swami. Even my mother used to call me as Swami only. From the time I remember me, I never heard any other word from my mother. Even as a baby, as a child, I always heard only she calling me, addressing me as a Swami. Never I have heard from her the name my parents have given. It's only Swami. So, Arunagiri Yogeshwara uttered the word Swami. The moment he called Swami, I just sat up and the eye and eyes got locked. His eyes and my eyes got locked. He raised the right hand with a gesture. Are you able to raise your hand? So the meaning is, are you able to do what you want? It was not verbal. It was like a show. So naturally, I responded. Means I moved my hand and showed, yes, I can. Suddenly, Onada. It just clicked and I started laughing. He started laughing. Both of us were laughing for 10 minutes. Understand? I'll tell you exactly what happened in me. When you have a consciousness which can command and execute something that is one with ultimate, so you are ultimate. I know now with this theory there will be 100 questions, doubts you may have. All that we can digest, grind, burn next. But the first click, he's right. The first click was so powerful. The words uttered were only two words. Swami. Then he showed through the gestures. Are you able to move the right hand? So I responded in the words. Yes, I can move. What is there? So just when this gesture question answer was going on, I could understand very clearly what he is trying to convey. If you have a consciousness which can command and make the matter, body is matter, make the matter obey, listen, you are carrying, which is ultimate. You are the consciousness which is ultimate. Like something hit on my forehead. It was such an ecstasy, blossoming, flowering.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained how he experienced oneness with Paramashiva and how he experienced the consciousness as reality. Each one of us can experience the ultimate science through the science of our manifestation. Bhagavan has given this very science for us to understand how to go beyond this body and matter to the consciousness as our reality. Now, if we have the Jnananjan, let's take the Jnananjan. You can apply on the coconut or apply on your third eye and your temples. All the detox that Bhagavan has given, the Aushadas, the Vibhuti and the Kumkum, or the turmeric that you apply in your command center, this part of your brain, simply detox and clears it so much that you get ready for the receiving the Guru. All this he is doing again and again, asking us to prepare ourselves. When he comes, he gives all the darshans and diksha and initiation. At that very moment, we are so elated and excited, and everything looks perfect. But after some time, it just drops and just leaves us. That's not our fault, but the frequency that we are not able to hold it. The Gurus only sees that how much are we ready for experiencing and holding that space. And continuously he initiates to see if somebody can hold that, and just for few seconds and extended seconds we can be enlightened. The Bhagavan says just for 3 to 4 seconds we can have a satori or power manifestation. But if we are in that 21 seconds, we can just become enlightened. 21 seconds. Yes, the thoughtless space, complete peace and complete surrender into Bhagavan's lotus feet. We can experience the ultimate, Bhagavan says. All this great science is given to us again and again. That is why the power manifestation has a purpose as our reality. When we manifest as Shakti, not just the Sunya, but he has added one more level for us to experience as Shakti, as manifestation, where you become the command over reality. So you become solidified into the consciousness, conscious sovereignty as your reality. Now, let's get into the meditation. We are going to have the coconut or object on your hand. You can keep it or you can keep it on other's hand. If you're comfortable doing the coconut rolling on your hands, you can keep it on your gadget. But if you keep it on the gadget, make sure the gadgets are completely switched off. There's no vibration mode. Or you can keep it on the surface also, and if you want you can touch it or you don't have to touch it. It is up to you. If you feel you're connected as consciousness, simply you can command over anything. All that exists, Bhagavan says, if I am here and I am consciousness, the air around me is also consciousness, the rocks around me is also rocks around the air is also consciousness, the Arunachala hill is also consciousness, so I can move the hill also. It is quite feasible and quite possible where Bhagavan says we are consciousness and manifest as reality. Now all those great signs, we have seen the Siddhas and all the Alvars, Nayanamars, millions of them have manifested all these powers. If you read about so many yogis, they are able to manifest all these powers just by declaring their conscious sovereignty. That only the inner space, bring your focus back and again. Bhagavan's beautiful instructions. Sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Bring your visualization, verbalization to your third eye. Only Paramashiva. Whatever you remember of Swamiji, just bring that to your third eye and continuously cherish. That is where your bhava comes in. You sit as Parashakti, Paramashiva with 25 heads and 75 eyes and 50 hands to bring the awareness. And cherish what you cherish, you become that. Constantly, if you cherish Paramashiva, then you become that. Constantly, we cherish only all our delusions, pains, and sufferings. For a few minutes, drop everything. How in the deep sleep you drop everything. For a few minutes, tell very clearly, I do not want any thoughts. I'm going to unclutch any thought that comes with Paramashiva as my Mahavakya. That is the weapon that we have. When we chant the Mahavakya loudly, we are so engrossed in chanting that we forget there is any other thought that can happen. And also visualize and verbalize only Paramashiva's cognitions and visualization continuously in your third eye and bringing the awareness of your 25 heads. Holding that, witnessing that awareness, you become the conscious sovereignty and manifest the powers. Let's entangle with Bhagavan, continuously chant and just deeply melt into the chanting. Don't bother if it is manifesting or not. You don't have to peek, you don't have to do anything. You can set up a camera and continuously fall in love with Paramashiva. Merge in Paramashiva to his lotus feet. All that we came here to celebrate Paramashiva. Be that oneness and experience that oneness of Paramashiva chanting the Mahavakya. Let's get ready for the consciousness over matter. So let's start chanting the Mahavakya intensely from the navel center. The navel center which connects the whole cosmic consciousness. So from your navel center, start chanting and vibrating with that and entangling with Bhagavan to experience the deep oneness with Paramashiva.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. The powers. That's beautiful. You can take a picture and at the end of the session, you can share it. If you feel still you need some time to manifest, that's okay. If you have even the vibration or even if you feel the Kundalini energy, each of the time that Bhagavan is asking us to manifest these powers, is for us to receive the prasada. If you go to a temple and have a darshan, after that you stand for the prasada and receive the prasada. And that is what each one of us experiencing the power manifestation, the conscious sovereignty individually is so important. The power manifestation is a science to teach that greatest science of conscious sovereignty as our reality. Again and again, Bhagavan is asking us to experience that is the only reason to make us conscious sovereignty. At least for a few minutes, we are in the conscious space. If you make a coffee, you don't think that Paramashiva is making the coffee, Paramashiva is drinking the coffee. If that is the space, that's so beautiful. Living as Paramashiva, walking, talking, and experiencing, you are the ultimate. The conscious sovereignty says, Brahmanya Bahuputratam. You are the favorite inheritance of the cosmos, sitting as the consciousness itself, the ultimate reality, who you are, the auspiciousness, the abundance. When you sit in that space, simply you start manifesting the higher reality. What you believe is what you are. What you eat is what you belch. The same way, if you start believing that you are consciousness by all these simple things that Bhagavan is giving us to experience, because it is too simple, we think it might not be the important thing. Just by rolling the coconut in South India, there is a Vellore Golden Temple. You can Google and check. Such a beautiful temple. He was just a school teacher going in cycle, but all he had is conscious sovereignty. And then he started rolling coconut and showing people how the conscious sovereignty as the reality itself and healing people. And he built a golden temple right in this century, not the past. He still lives. Such a beautiful space each one of us can manifest and make it reality is why Bhagavan is asking us to manifest the powers of Paramashiva again and again. Living that and experiencing that, becoming oneness with that and manifesting that. Continuously holding that as the primary cognition is the very purpose of why we came here to experience the ultimate and manifest as ultimate. We are not going to lose anything but gain much more that we can't even imagine. When Sudama went to Krishna, all that he did was just fall in love with Krishna, and simply he was showered with all the auspiciousness and abundance. Anytime, any of the stories clearly show us that anytime we surrender to Paramashiva in deep love and reverence and gratitude, simply we become Paramashiva's space of auspiciousness and abundance. Just beautifully experiencing the ultimate. So let's have one more cycle. Sit straight with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Continuously chant the Mahavakya, raising your frequency. It's all about frequencies. If you raise your frequency, your body even emits the photon more, the light energy. You become the self-effulgent. Lovely, that's why they call it enlightenment. That beautiful space you experience is the auspiciousness and abundance that Bhagavan is showering on you right now. Let's experience the oneness and manifest the power of consciousness over matter. Make sure your hand is flat and the coconut is kept very stably, or you can keep it on the gadgets, but make sure the gadgets are completely switched off. Now let's start the second cycle. Start chanting the Mahavakya for experiencing the power of consciousness over matter.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes.
Paramashivoham,
Let the Amrita pour,
Paramashivoham,
let the Vani open up,
Paramashivoham,
manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda.
So beautiful. We have come to the end. Now open your eyes and whatever picture or video, please share it in tinyurl.com/powermanifestation. Even if you have not manifested and share, or you have powerful cognition from Bhagavan Sat, or whatever you experienced as oneness, share Shiva. Again and again, contributing to others' life and sharing and enriching and causing simply makes us the Paramashiva space. If you, so many of you have offered the gratitude as dollar to Bhagwan and Kailasha, that is so beautiful. Offering to the Guru's feet is the ultimate gift that you can experience yourself. That only odes to your Kailasha inside you. Again and again, when you offer even as simple as 1 unit of your currency, it builds the Kailasha inside you. Let's thank Bhagwan for all this auspiciousness and beautiful space of oneness and deep gratitude and earning that Paramashiva is the reality. Let's surrender all the powerful cognition and power manifestation to Bhagwan's lotus feet and thank Bhagwan for all that experiences. With a deep gratitude and thanking each and every one of you, hundreds of you sitting and manifesting the powers, such a beautiful space it creates as conscious sovereignty. With that gratitude, let's end this session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much. See you in the next darshan.